Okay, so it is October 2019. I just got back from my second track day on the 600, the ZX6R, and I have to say I'm incredibly excited to bring you guys some information as to why I'm riding a 600 now. Had a 2016 ZX10R. One of the better leader bikes out there. I like Kawasaki, I like how they do things. Love the ZX10, it's absolutely an incredible machine. I had it for like a year and a half. Did things to it. Put a full exhaust on it. You put a thin head gasket in it and you change cam timing. And then you tune it. 205 horsepower on 93 octanes. Absolutely incredible. Just a missile. I remember one time I was at Roebling. I had 4 bikes in front of me coming out of turn 9, which is the last corner, and just twisted on, and I got all but one of them. Absolutely insane. Granted, they were not thousands. Definitely know there was a couple 600s. You can hear them as you go by. Anyway, just absolutely incredible machine. Problem is, I was getting lazy as a rider. You know, you have so much power, you don't have to push so hard on the braking, corner speed, anything like that. You can just absolutely powerhouse past anybody. You go, oh gee, that guy passed me. I'll just wait a little bit. Oh, there's a straightaway. So then all you have to do is take a little bit of risk on the braking, in the corner speed, stuff like that. And then you just get on the power and oh, there you are. Wasn't progressing the way I wanted to on a machine like that. Also, it's incredibly expensive to run a leader bike. A lot of guys go, oh, it's so cool, it's so sexy to run this 200 horsepower, machine, but a 200 horsepower machine will chew a tire, a brand new tire, in like a day and a half, especially if you're using it the way I was, which was just, oh, wait for the next exit and, So it was just like, gosh, man, I'm not getting anywhere. What is this? Enter 600. A friend of mine had this 2005 ZX6RR sitting in his garage, and it just needed to get running again. Basically, it had been wrecked, needed a couple bits and bobs. All in all, it was there. It was a straight frame, straight fork, straight everything. Just needed to get running. Anyway, worked out a trade, and it was a good deal. So I got this 600, started getting into it, and started going like, you know what? This bike could really be something that I can learn to go fast on. Not be one of those guys who, oh, I'm in advance because I have 200 horsepower. I don't want to be that guy. Anyway, so had the ZX10 sitting there for the longest time. I was like, oh, I'll ride the 600 and then I'll race the ZX10. And it's just like, no, I'll sell it. So I did. Back on a 600, which is really exciting. We're gonna get to know each other a little bit. So far it's basically just rebuild stock components. I'm not trying to sit here and throw a bunch of money at a 600 like you can do with any bike, really. I'm gonna take stock components to where I'm not able to get past whatever that limit is. Brake, suspension, power is always going to be sort of low, so it's not really something you can work on. So anyway, it's completely stock right now. Not going to be that way for long because I've already taken it to a couple track days and I figured out there's some weaknesses. But what I want to talk to you about is my first track day with it. Kind of a long story, but I'll try to shorten it up. Basically, it was just rebuild this bike as fast as I can, or get it running as fast as I can, rebuild the entire brake system, refresh the suspension, get it started. That was a big deal. Put race plastics on it. And a huge shout out to Sportbike track gear. Jimmy Fox, he's one of the management up there. Brian Van, both those guys really helped me out in getting all the little pieces I need for it, because it's a 15-year-old bike. It's not like stuff's just falling off of the trees on the used market. So, especially like aftermarket stuff. And I was looking for things like, bodywork, brake lines. So there's definitely some stuff that you can't just go find. So anyway, I just dug around, found what I could, as cheap as possible. Like I said, I rebuilt the stock brake system. There's some pictures of what it was. And I promise you, dude, they never touched the brakes. They might have put pads in it. So anyway, basically, I rebuilt the bike and got it. I didn't even spring it for my weight. I refreshed the front fork, put it back together, that type of thing. Went out and on Pirelli sticky tires, went out there to tally, and I ran within 2 seconds of my fastest time on my ZX10. So for me, that was pretty confidence inspiring. There was a lot of things that weren't right with the bike. Brake lever had its mind of its own. Grab it on one corner and it'd be sort of, whatever amount of stiffness that you'd normally feel, and then you go grab it in the next corner and it was like half that, so it's just, or you go in it again and it just fade back to the bar. That's a known problem on this bike. I didn't know that. Anyway, so stock brakes are very weak and getting replaced. And the suspension, I had when I did the dump and fill, I went backwards on how I should have put it together, which is like the rebound needs to be screwed in to its maximum, essentially, or where it would be maximum when it's installed on the bike. I loosened it all the way, put it back together, which means I had like super tight rebound. The front wouldn't even come back up out of a corner. I would stay turning as I accelerated, so like the corner was this way, and I'd go and drag it back and bring it straight again. It's a little bit of an issue there. I figured that out. But overall, the bike was insane. It doesn't have any power. It's a 600, okay? Compared to a 200-something horsepower machine, it doesn't have power. You I get on the gas and I'd sort of get ready for this next corner coming up. I'm like, all right, cool, I'm gonna be there in about a second. And I'm still waiting. Oh, there's the brakes on. Okay, turn. And it's like that, and you're going, oh, okay, I have time to think now. So now I started thinking and started, racing. I was just riding with other guys. I started being aggressive on the bike, and that's something that's so critical. You've got to be relaxed enough that when you go out there and you ride with other guys and you want to put a move on them, that you have the confidence to do that. If you're timid and, I don't know, oh my gosh, I'm about to, what if? You're not going to do anything. You're just going to be running out there burning fuel and tires and wasting your time, etc. So I started feeling that old fire of being able, like, yeah, I know I can just run up the inside of this guy. I'm in advanced group, so you can do that. And know that I feel like I'm going to stick. You know, the tire's going to be there, the bike's going to be there, etc. So I felt really good about it. So I was able to put a few moves on guys that normally, especially on the ZX10, I probably wouldn't have done that. Wasn't confident. So I'm really excited to show you guys some things like, you can see here, we're running around and we've got a bunch of dudes all around us, all on 600s. It's fantastic. And I come up on the group and I see a couple dudes in front of me, you know, some slower guys getting passed by some of the quicker guys, and then I get passed, and then we both pass somebody, and just insane, you know, a lot of fun, super amount of fun. Sportbike Track Time is who I ride with, so really good organization, by the way, if you ever want to get on track. But yeah, the ZX6R, man, it's basically a race-ready machine. Kawasaki back in the day, you know, they had the ZX6R, which was a 636cc motor. Then they had to make a 599cc motor for homologation for World Superbike and other organizations. So they made the ZX6R. That bike, back in 2004, cost $9,999. Not a lot of super special things on it. The valving and the suspension is different. It's definitely different than stock. They had tin coating, the actual fork tubes. The frame is exactly the same as a standard ZX6R, but it has a little welded boss on the left side of the frame, so you can put a linear steering stabilizer on it. Suspension linkage in the back is 1-to-1. So on a standard bike where you have a 2-up passenger, you need a progressive link to sort of help the spring compensate for the amount of weight that a passenger would be. So this bike was made for racing, so that's why the suspension worked so well right out of the box, even 15 years old. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep riding it. I'm going to upgrade certain things, like after this last Trackday at Barber, which I'll show you guys later. Brakes definitely came into their own as a problem. These stock brakes are horrible. Common upgrade is to take 07 and up ZX6R, 10R, 14R Nissan brakes and put them on there. I'm not going to do that because, frankly, I don't want to. I don't want to put stock back on. There's an option that I'm going to go with that I'll show you guys later. If you haven't already, please subscribe. You know, I like to share this stuff with you guys as I'm learning it, and I am just learning it. I don't come out this and say I've got it all figured out. Goals, we're going to go out and we're going to race this bike, be as fast as we can. Who knows? It's a 2005, so it's not like it's a slow machine. Suspension's fine, chassis is fine, just needs a rider. So that's what we're going to work on. Hopefully someday we'll be on the podium. It'd be great if we got a win. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, check you guys out later. Please subscribe. Please like the video. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, say something. Let me know. Anyway, I appreciate it. Laters.